with your faves. Keep it locked in with us for your daily dose of hot tea only on Win Media 98.9.
Good morning, guys. Good morning, and welcome to Island Tea right here on Win Media SKN. You're here with your fave, me, as I'm usually. I'm joined by Jade Gwenny Gwen. She's unable to make it today, handling some responsibilities, and so I'm gonna be hanging out with you all today, Monday, October 3rd, guys. We're in October. The months are rolling by, so big up to all the October massive. You know, you're going to be seeing you all over social media, all on our WhatsApps, Facebook, etc. And those of you celebrating this month, big up yourself for sure. But we got out of September. Pretty eventful month. Pretty eventful. We had some interesting stories coming out of last month. Of course, our independence celebrations would have been one of the highlights. That is still ongoing. I don't even know if Friday night was the last of the independence celebrations, but it definitely was a celebration in itself. People came out and enjoyed themselves, and they're big up to all the acts that performed, the DJs. Big up to all the production people, and of course the artist that was flown in Taurus put down a great performance as usual. And so this weekend was a interesting weekend. We had some other events, you know. We had events on Saturday evening for sure, and I don't know about last night, but I'm pretty sure there was something last night as well. The way the weekend was set up. Hopefully people, you know, you guys got some rest in between the back and forth. Spend some time with family and loved ones. I didn't get any of that. Like, this weekend was a long one for me. I wasn't in on Friday on the show because work started early for me on Friday. Well, actually coming out to Thursday evening after I left the show. Yeah, and then was on the road again early on Friday. And it didn't stop. It didn't stop until this morning pretty much. So, yeah, happy to be here, even though a bit tired, but we're feeling good. But again, hopefully you guys had a great weekend. Those of you who went out to the events, you know, hopefully remain safe. I'm hearing some reports. Y'all doing too much out there, you know. Y'all doing too much out there. Hearing some reports of people trying to I guess the belief is that there was a robbery attempt of some of the artists that came in over the weekend. I don't know. I'm waiting for an official police report to see if that ever comes. But that's the word. Guys, we're doing too much. That can't start becoming a thing. And trust me, one of the things that people don't understand about entertainment and artistry, especially music and stuff like that, everybody knows everybody. It's a very small set of people. I actually got a call from overseas asking me if it's true. From another artist. Well, artist management. I didn't have the answer at the time. But from what I'm hearing, it seems as though there was an attempt. Thankfully, the attempt was unsuccessful from what I'm hearing. But again, hoping that we get some official word on what that was all about. Because this can't become a thing. I say it all here at the time, you know. I say these things that we see happening in some of the other countries, the larger countries, the US, Europe, Jamaica, Trinidad, don't feel like those people are so much different to us, you know. Don't feel like they're so much different to us. If we don't actively use those situations in those other countries as cautionary tales and then bear in mind that these things are possible right here, then there's a big possibility that we'll have some repeats of those types of situations right here. So we're going to have to remain mindful. Sometimes we're talking about these things, real learning experiences, teachable moments. That's what they are. I mean, best we take heed, eh? Best we take heed. But yeah, I'm hoping that this doesn't really mar our reputation as being one of the places that artists love to come. And you know, generally when I talk to persons involved, they like coming here, they get good treatment. When Music Fest spoil a lot of them, eh? Until I know. Music Fest spoil a lot of the artists. I tell you, when people talk about syncets and events, like, that's what I talk about. And yeah, but I'm like, guys, you realize that that's not the regular energy for most of the events, eh? Just let you know. But they do like coming here and they do talk about good treatment. One of these days I'm coming here and rant about the difference in treatment locals they get versus the overseas artists, eh? Because that's a big issue. That's a huge issue. Artists got tents to be upon and when they literally they don't even use it, and they come from the hotel. Sometimes they go straight on stage, jump back on the bus, go back to the hotel. The tent, the local can't get any tent, but rain falling. You're on the sidewalk trying to shelter under the stage, and them kind of craziness. And so you're walking around asking somebody, begging somebody to get some water at some of these events. Just some water. You're not asking for a top shelf drink and so. You didn't even you didn't ask me for some wings or nothing. Just hey, you guys have any water? I could get a bottle of water, please. Craziness. But that's for another show. Maybe I'll grind that gear on Thursday. Who knows? The last time I grind that gear, Jade met me grind that gear. We stay here for the whole day talking about whatever the gear was. I don't even want to mention it again because I might go back down the road. But one of the things that I recognize happens to me as a result of me being here on this on the show, right, is that persons would come up to me and tell me a bit about stuff that's going on with them, both positive and negative. And I appreciate it because I'm not always the person who is up to date on what is happening around. Jade is who does let me know what's going on. So like when you all see me and tell me, hey, big up my daughter, whatever she did well in school, whatever. Like, hey, talk to this person will watch the show, let them know you appreciate it, bam, bam, bam. But sometimes, unfortunately, I get some reports about concerning issues. And I got a couple over the last few weeks that really makes me uncomfortable. I didn't even think I waited to talk about this. I think we're gonna need to really put something in place. Perhaps this is the Ministry of Health that might have to be responsible for this. But we're gonna have to put something in place to really ensure the health or the healthy environments, particularly for civil servants. Ensuring that the environments that the civil servants work in are safe, not only from like physical harm and stuff like that, but also some of the let's say unseen threats, right? Because I'm getting reports of persons in several different departments, and I've mentioned it here before, who are concerned about issues like mold, issues like unclean filters in the HVAC systems, issues of bat feces and rat feces in the roof, rodents living in the offices. And I know for a fact that there have been several incidents where persons not only have had to take off from work because the environment has affected them so much that they're now sick. But in some cases, I know persons who would have had to receive a transfer out of one department to the next because of the environmental factors at the workplace. Now, that might sound like a sad situation, but one of the things that concerns me even more, and I know it concerns even some of the doctors, is, hey, this person presented with these symptoms, and so, hey, we were able to treat them, and in some cases, like I said, create a situation where they're now in a different environment, maybe through transfer, or they had to resign and all kind of things. But the concern is for those people who don't present with those symptoms and are constantly exposed to these environmental factors that have these detrimental effects on their health. You're sitting down in your office all day breathing mold. Next thing you hear something wrong with your heart. your lung, one of your lung cavities, them inflamed. Like, these things are serious things, man. So if we're seeing and hearing these reports from multiple departments, particularly within the civil service, because I want to believe that in the private sector, a lot of the businesses may actually do more to try and avoid these types of situations. And a lot of the reports that I've been getting has been from civil servants. The situations that I'm talking about have been civil servants. Some of them right in the same health ministry. And there's this thing, if it's not anybody's job expressly, then it doesn't get done. That's something I see all the time. We're hearing all these reports. We're going to have to start putting things in place to try and avoid these situations moving forward. We can't be putting people's health at risk. The other concerning part about this whole situation is that you have persons who are in managerial positions who hush down these complaints, who threaten people who raise concerns. And so there's people who might have a concern, but they're not in a position where they feel comfortable expressing their concerns. They feel they may become a target. They feel they may lose their job. They may not have the same opportunities for climbing the ladder within the departments, because they hush it down. They go work on the BMS and hope that helps the situation. And this isn't one place, this isn't two places, this isn't three places. We're hearing about this all over. No, the sad part about it is some of these places might even be some of these buildings where the government is renting. I would like a journalist to find out exactly how many different departments exist in buildings that we have to pay rent for. Like, how many the government departments are renting their offices, as opposed to, meaning they're paying for this space. It's not owned by the government. We need some investigative journalism. I would love that, because I think if we were to find that out, we might end up in a situation where that information sparks the conversation around saying, hey, we really need to develop a commercial complex, a commercial area, a commercial center, a government center, because that just don't make sense to be paying all this money when the government really could identify a spot for some of these offices. Some of these offices are in places that people have to go daily. So it ain't have to be located down Port Zante. But hey, it's a suggestion. But the main point I'm making is we're gonna really have to start looking at the mechanisms that we can put in place to ensure the health. We had the whole Basta High School debacle. It's like we ain't learn nothing from that. Whether or not you believe that the site was good, that the site wasn't good, the truth about it is that what was obvious to anybody, no matter what side of the fence you were on, was that maintenance of key infrastructure at the facility was lacking. It don't matter whether you be, or the matter. I believe that is one thing that we can agree on. Key infrastructure maintenance was lacking, and I think that's something that we see all across the island. This is something we're talking about for years and years and years and years and years. But let's see, we have somebody trying to join the conversation. Good morning, caller. You're live on Island T. What's up?
Good morning. How are you doing?
Morning.
Well, I see you alone today, but You're doing good. It's okay. You're hitting some tender nerves, but the facts are there, and it's true. And people are being paid every week, every month, to keep these buildings clean, to keep the bathroom and restroom clean. If you go to the hotel's outside lobby and you check the restroom, they're very clean and tidy. It's the same money that they're getting from the hotels that they're being paid for by government. So there's absolutely no reason why these things should not be done, because they're being paid for. The post office in Kean, that was in Kean, which is the community center, this is the hurricane season, and to my knowledge, it is still closed. I don't think anyone have done anything for it yet. But to say that, my main concern is, that bother me, is the traffic system in Bastia. I believe, in my mind, if I recall, that police were introduced to protect and to serve the public. And one of the main areas of traffic is for public safety. And sometimes it's difficult to see between safety, protection, and service, rather than a cash flow business. It is, in my view, that someone get in their vehicle in Bastia, which is very difficult to drive a car about 20 miles an hour because of the kind of traffic we have. Having said that, someone get in their vehicle and lackadaisically forget to put on their seatbelt, and someone said to you, hello, pull over. You didn't have on your seatbelt, and I'm going to give you a ticket, which is $100 and something. And bear in mind that person may be working for $300 per week.
Yeah.
You pay $150 for one ticket, and you pay that twice. Where are you going to feed your children on? That's one. The thing is that if you violate and your card violated, nothing wrong with doing that. But it's not what's being done, it's how it's being done. If you recognize the mistake and you decide to correct the mistake, then to me, you should be let go with a warning. But they are so straight and giving a ticket that some reason or another, that person has to feel it in their pocket. The other thing is that when you leave the clock, which is the circus, and you're riding up or you're driving up 4th Street, you can have a cutoff point between Central and 4th. So you could have a squad car up to the top of the road. There's some people who enjoy putting the motorbike on one wheel, going up 4th Street, and you're telling me that up to this moment, police cannot get a handle on that? That is, to me, endangerment. And every time I remember how Simon lost his life, it makes me cringe. Because he should not have get knocked down. He should not have died away. Because that vehicle was moving from a junction area and going out to a straight area where he was probably maybe crossing the pedestrians. And even though I drive, even though someone make a mistake and cross when the light is green, I am driving. That does not give me the right to knock them down. I must be in control and should be in control of the vehicle to give them access and let them pass, because they are on their feet. And drivers should always give way to foot pedestrians, because you're in a machine. It's not going to take much of your time to let that person pass. So why do we want to show off on 4th Street by putting a one wheel in the air and ride on one back wheel, and that person get away scotch-free? And you try to pick out everyone who pass may not be wearing a seatbelt, when you should be protecting and serving, giving service. Is that where you give service to the public? No, I don't believe that way. You're protecting and serve, and to prevent, to deter. Your presence, once they see you, they start, hey, my seatbelt, and they start buckling up. But you straightforward in hitting them in their pocket. And I think I have said enough, but I could go on for the whole day, but I tell you this. Some reason or another, we need to have checks and balance. And we need to have across the board where everybody is answered to something which is called the law, because where ends your right begins mine, and where begins my right ends yours. Have a good day, sir. Thank you very much for your program.
All right, man. Appreciate it. Thanks for your contribution. Well, that's a whole other topic there. A bit outside of what I was talking about, but probably very timely, as we should be having someone from the traffic department here in a few minutes. But good morning, caller. You're live on LNT. What's up?
Hello, my LNT
Morning,
friend. Good morning. How you all doing, Jade? Is she up?
Jade. Jade got some duties to handle this morning, so.
Yeah, I'm struggling with the person they was talking a while ago. Because, I just, feel so down about this traffic thing. There's no traffic, nobody out there, some police are back and forth, nobody looking after it this morning. I hear here at my place, and I hear, woo, going up the road. So I was there that one of them thing up like they frightened me, raise up the thing, and so, oh my God, get me jump. So they need, doctor, you need to put down a penalty and that. They need to take these stupidness off the road. We ain't enough raise the wall. It's Debbie making them feel like we're enough raise the wall. We're not accustomed to that. Imagine that you're walking, going, and you saw a cycle coming as you reach, but you person of boom, 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 jump you. That's bad enough, kind of messing with your heart.
Mm-hmm.
And I just open along the way, Dr. Joe. Dr. Joe, good morning. Mr. Dr. Terrence Joe, I love you, good morning. But please come and put some kind of cap on these things, man. These are annoying, especially to the elder people. Here. Young people, them could stand it because they laugh. Ha, ha, ha. They need to say, where were them people who be out there, say they're checking for traffic, as the gentleman just say, checking to a train on a belt and guilty. And next thing, people on the phone. When I'm going to tell me, they say, come off. They need to pay me a little change, isn't it? I say, come off your phone. Because me see them before the seminar, they knock me first and say, oh, I bet she was on the radio calling in and talking, I chat somebody business now. They going to say that they ain't see me first, so I don't lucky to see them. I say, when you knock me down and just come off the phone call, I don't know what you say, I wasn't watching where you're going. So what happened? We need to we need it bad intent. Yeah, just as the gentleman said with the Papa Wheel, I see the grass of the booklet here that I sat it.
Mm-hmm.
Sat it down, down there by the booklet by a friend. And I said, look at that. That's a busy road as the gentlemen are coming to and for suppose a big thing that thing strike up where me now, knock me right up the kill me. I mean, expect that because supposed to incoming traffic, one going west, one going east now, and he get caught sandwich in the middle, as they say. That vehicle got to go, that cycle got to bounce, go somewhere, ain't it? And then you're going away with drop, maybe go up in the air, go many different, very high up in the air, I beg them, Dr. Joe. Dr. Judith Bernice, that lady, God, I rally with you. I beg you, please do that for me. I beg you hard. You have a good day. You hear?
All right, that's lady. Take care.
Hear me in the office. I hope tell the secretary to turn up the radio. He could hear me good.
No problem. Thank you so much. Well, guys, give me the perfect segue to the next segment, But we're gonna take a short break and be right back. With more LNT, and we jump right into traffic talk when we get back. See you guys in just a minute.
Protect your lifestyle with Caribbean Alliance Insurance. Till you walk with a low and service for second to none. Securing you is our mission. People that you can trust, your business, property, we got you covered. Motor or personal, whatever it is, we got you covered. 130 years in this business, we got you covered. For all your insurance needs, visit or call us at 465-2631 or 469-5303. DLU Walwyn, people you can trust.
Be careful on the road. episode. Attention all drivers. I'm begging you to slow it down, slow it down, slow it down, down. Too many stuck drivers on the road, man. With the fire day driver.
Hey guys, welcome back to Win Media SKN, and just as I said before the break, we're about to jump into traffic talk with our friends from the traffic department. In studio with us this morning, we have, of course, the lovely Sergeant Henry, and she came with a guest this morning, friend of the show as well, Mr. Gilbert from the Public Works Department. Good morning, guys. How are you guys doing?
Good morning. I'm fine, thank you, Azim.
Good morning. I am pretty all right too.
Well, Mr. Gilbert, you know, when they hear you, they love to call in and thing, you know, so you done things and turn up this morning.
I know that. I
Yeah.
expect that.
Somebody like they know you were coming, they don't call in to talk about the traffic university this morning. But you're always up for the challenge. I'm happy that you were able to come and join the Sergeant this morning.
Thank you very much.
But Sergeant, what are we going to be discussing this morning?
I'll be talking about child safety. And Mr. Gilbert, as you said, I have a guest here, and he'll be talking about some road works that they will be doing shortly.
Okay.
Yes, so child safety. The driver of a vehicle shall ensure that once that vehicle is in motion, that a child seat that contains a passenger shall be positioned in the rear seat of the vehicle. And this is speaking to children under 5. So from months to 5 or weeks, days to 5 years, they must be positioned in a child seat. Anything over 5, whether the child is sitting in the back or the front of the vehicle, they must be restrained with a seat belt. So from 5 to 14, a child under the age of 14 must be restrained by a seat belt, whether they're sitting in the back of the vehicle or in the front.
So, from what age are children allowed to sit in the front of the vehicle?
It doesn't say.
Okay.
So once you're sitting in the front, as long as you're on the 14, well, adult must.
Yeah. Everyone.
Sits in the front must be restrained by a seat belt.
Mm-hmm.
But whether you're sitting in the back, if you're a child under 14, you must be restrained with a seat belt.
Okay.
And you read on to say any passenger who is on, okay, I said that already, on the age of 14, shall be restrained by a seat belt while riding as a passenger in a motor vehicle. As I said, irrespective of whether he or she is seated in the front seat or the rear seat.
All right.
And the provision of subsection regulation 4 shall not be applicable to motor omnibus, where the passenger is seated elsewhere than in the front seat. So when we talk about seatbelt, people just say, oh, why? If I'm in a passenger bus, how come I don't have to have on a seatbelt? Because the regulation made such provision for that.
Okay.
But as long as you're in a private vehicle, you must be restrained with a seatbelt if you're under 14 years.
Understood.
Yes. I know I tell somebody I'm going to speak about it because they say, oh, I don't know anything about that. But this was amended in 2014. So if you want to go, you can go to Traffic and Road Vehicles Act, Chapter 15.06, 2017, and you will see it.
Okay.
Yes.
But I mean, I'm glad that they said it too, because everybody don't go read the act.
Yes.
You know, so thanks for letting us know that is what the law states.
Yes.
Does it speak to the fines or
$200.
What?
$200
What?
if you're under 14 and you're not restrained. But for a child without a car seat is $150.
Oh.
So if
I
you're a
never
child
fly.
under 5 and you're not in a car seat, you'll have to pay $150 if you're over 5. And under 14, the person who is driving the vehicle will have to pay $200.
All bad. I mean, I can't pick up the lady with she child walking going up in the hot sun.
Well, make her sit in the back. And you can't have the child in your lap.
But that's what I'm saying. Me ain't got a car seat in my vehicle. That's why I got to let her walk. I left the child on the side.
But you can't leave a child on the side. Yeah? Yes, sir.
Well. They're rough, man.
So I'll turn over to Mr. Gilbert now from Public Works Department.
Yeah, you could go ahead, Mr.
Good morning, radio listeners, and all those who are listening, viewing, on other platforms. A pleasant good morning to you. Today I'm here for one main reason. We are planning to start a project in the Phillips area known as the Phillips Slope Stabilization. This project has been conceived for quite a long time ago, years ago, but we got the fundings now for it, and we have put things in place to roll out the project. Now, this project, whenever you have heavy rain in St. Kitts, we have slope slippage in the Phillips area. There are two particular areas, one going up which you call the Estate Road, and one from traversing from down Molyneux by the Freights area to that side of Phillips there. There are hillside there, and every time you have heavy rain, the hills tend to slip, so you have landslide. The last time we had some landslide there was in April of this year, and every time I go in that area there's a particular lady who always said to me, I don't know what you're doing up here. You always come up here, but you don't do nothing to up here. And I promised her that we're going to be working on it. She said, you're telling me that for years now. So I want to tell Ms. Samuel this morning that we are ready to commence the project, the slope stabilization. Now, there are people who are living adjacent to the slope, and we just can't go in and start to excavate and start to move the earth and start to do the work. What we have to do, we have to inform these individuals individually.
Right.
And not just inform them that the work will commence, but we have to go and do what is known as a condition survey to their property. So when you are moving the earth there and heavy equipment turning there and shaking there will be some form of tremor to their place. So what we want to do before the work commences is to check their property to see if there are any cracks. And we take note of it, we take pictures of it, we measure them, and then at the end of the project now, if they experience further cracks, then they can call us, we will go, we'll look at it again, we'll compare our notes which we had before, and then we'll make a determination. So what we normally do, we normally ask the contractor to take out a special insurance for that, not the general insurance which they would have, a special insurance for that. Now, while we were doing the Island Main Road, we had people who resisted and said, you can't come on my property, you can't do this. So they refused us entry. But then at the end of the day, when the project is completed, then we don't want you to come back to say that you have cracks in your house now and we could come in now to view. It put all of us, the homeowner and Public Works, the contractor, the insurer, in a compromising position. So to avoid all of that, I am here this morning asking you to cooperate with us. We're not looking news. We don't want to see what you have in your house from what you don't have. What we are doing, we are just checking the structure to ensure, to see what condition it's in at the moment, and then we'll take note of it. And then after the project is completed, if you have any cracks, further cracks or anything, feel free. We'll address it. We'll get insurance in, and they will make the determination where that is concerned. So I want to inform the people in the Phillips area and those persons who traverse to the mountain, and we know that this is the tourist season, and you have vehicles which will go up to the Phillips Mountain. So we ask you to take note of this, and there will be further information which will be forthcoming in terms of which road to use, which road not to use. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you so much. I'm sure the people in Phillips look forward to the commencement of this project. But we have some persons trying to join the conversation. Good morning, caller. You're live on Traffic Talk. Oh, lost a caller. Let's see if we get this one. Good morning, caller. You're live on Traffic Talk.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Yes. I also hear the lady speaking about children without car seat. But what was also dangerous? What about these people who just drive on these pickup truck and sitting on the tailgate? You know? One morning they had to beg an elderly man, when you don't sit in the pickup truck, if the truck full of hard weight fall over and hit your head, then you're going to charge the driver. that is also dangerous too. Even children, I see doing that, sitting on the tailgate of the truck, is only the buttocks and the hand bearing the weight. They pull a hard race, they fall and damage themselves. So you all have to look into that also too. That's my 2 cents for today. Bye.
Yes, Carl, it's an offense to be sitting on the tailgate. If someone is transporting persons in a pickup, they must sit in the bed of the pickup or make a bench that they can sit and hold on. As you say, God forbid you pull, the person fall, you don't know if the person might lose their life, you'll be charged for causing death by dangerous driving. So persons who take people in the pickup, make sure they sit in the bed of the pickup.
Yeah, that's risky business there, boy.
Yes.
That's risky business. So, for persons who are, hearing what is happening with the project in Phillips's, you're saying that this was a project that you guys had identified, hey, we need to do something, things were put in place, like to assess the situation. But of course, with everything, the constraint is sometimes lack of resources and funding. I know you guys have the funding. I will suspect that this is the case for probably several projects around the island. That's in terms of. Okay. Good morning. Hold on. Let's see. Good morning, caller. You're live on Traffic Talk.
Morning. How are you doing today?
Morning. I'm doing well. Thank you.
Morning, Mr. Gilbert, and morning, Sergeant Henry. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Mr. Gilbert, a word you used in your opening statement this morning, which means that informed, which is to notify. However, of the airport roundabout just last week, they were putting in some BRC. I don't know if they had done any construction or laying a concrete sidewalk towards the mountainside. It's unfortunate, based on the provision that was made by the Traffic Department and Public Works, of the inner lane, which gives privilege and convenience to people to go towards King Collins Highway instead of stopping and blocking the traffic. But what is rather striking to me is in the belly, that is the center of the length of the lane, when leaving Connery, entering that lane to go to King Collins Highway, you cannot see the curve of the lane until you get into the lane passing the entrance of the cricket ground. It's unfortunate that they have cones, traffic cones, only protecting them. When you get in the lane, you have to come back out into the other lane that was there before. At any given time, anybody were following that person who may be in that lane, using that lane to go to Kim Collins, would have come out automatically again and would have caused an accident. If you're going to be working in a lane with a curb or a bend, block the lane from the immediate entrance so people can see. Do not allow people to go into that lane, which of course takes place on Friday last week.
Okay.
My observation about that, I just need to explain to you, in reference of you saying the word this morning, inform, is to notify. There wasn't sufficient, efficient notification last Friday. Mr. Gilbert, you have a good day. Sergeant Henry, you take care. Have a good day. Goodbye.
Same to you, caller.
Thank you very much, caller, for that observation and for informing us. And when I leave here today, I will pass there. And before I go there, I call the contractor to just remind him of the safety precaution in the area there. Thank you again.
All right, thanks, caller. So what is the expected timeline for the project in Phillips? I know, of course, you guys have to do the examinations and stuff before the actual work begins. Is there a timeline as to when that might start? Has it already started?
It has not started as yet, but it plans to start in the next 2 weeks.
Okay.
2 to 3 weeks. So, but before we start the project, we are going to go and have a meeting with the residents of Phillips. So we're not bulldozing anybody. We're taking our time. We are going to the people of Phillips. I think we are planning to have the meeting at the Explorers Club in Phillips. And there we are inviting the people to come up and for them to share with us what are the issues, concerns, and for them to know exactly what we will be doing, when we'll be doing what.
Yeah, how the project will take place.
How the project will take place.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure they'll take a lot of interest in that, and so hopefully you could get going sooner rather than later. I'm sure they've been waiting for this for some time.
Yes, they have been.
All right. Guys, feel free to join in and add to the conversation right here on Traffic Talk. Yeah, we could kind of continue. Sergeant, as it relates to the child seat and stuff like that, has there been any consideration for? I know that we use an age when we start talking about when children should be in, has there been any consideration to use something a bit more standard, like weight, as opposed to just an age? Because the difference between 14-year-olds could be very vast.
But then when you say weight, I also speak about height.
Right.
How are we gonna say this child is that height?
Mm.
Sometimes we might say the child is 5, and sometimes the child is older than 5 too, or under 5.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, some children are small.
Right.
So the weight now, how are we gonna determine that this weight is what the child?
Well, the reason I said that too is because I know that's how it's done in some other places. Even the car seats themselves, the way you use the car seats is kind of determined by weight. So that's the reason I was wondering if that's a consideration. So yeah, that's why. I saw someone trying to call in. Please feel free to call back and join the conversation right here on Traffic Talk. But yeah, I just was wondering if that was something that was taken into consideration, as far as you know, or something that had been brought up since the amendments.
Not as far as I know, but I know the AG usually listen, because the last time we had the meeting with him, he spoke about listening to the
he's
show.
a sipper. He's a big sipper.
Right, so he's listening. I know he's listening.
For sure. For sure. Sometimes he does send in his comments and his questions as well. So big up to the AG. So who knows? We might get some discussion on that moving forward. All right. Call us, so feel free to call back and join the conversation.
And before this show started, I heard the lady, as she's called herself, the nuts lady. I think she was talking about cyclists, right?
Yeah, we had 2 callers who mentioned cyclists, riding their motorbikes on one wheel. There was one caller who asked that, you seem as though he recognized one place that happens.
Yeah.
I identified that happens is on 4th Street. You were suggesting perhaps a patrol car or something there that could identify these cyclists.
The offenders.
Yeah.
Yes.
And the sentiment was echoed by the subsequent caller.
Yeah, because I just want them to know also that it's in the regulation where it speaks about headgear. I know they don't, but it is. Because the regulation 18A states, a person who operates a motorcycle on a road shall at all time while operating the motorcycle wear the appropriate gear prescribed by the licensing authority and when accompanied by the pillion. And the pillion is the person who is on the back, behind the rider. So both pillion and the rider must. So
even if you're the passenger on the motorcycle, you're expected to wear a helmet as well.
You should.
Understood. We have someone trying to join the conversation. Good morning, caller. You're live on Traffic Talk.
Good morning, Gilbert. Good morning, Sarge.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Concerning the last caller, I think, that mentioned traveling, I think it's southward and Kim Cullen Highway when you're leaving Canary in that slot. Every driver knows that every junction that you're approaching, especially roundabout, give way to traffic from your right. Whenever you get in that easement that take you to the Kim Cullen Highway, you might not be able to turn your neck to see what is coming behind you on the roundabout. That might be coming from the airport direction. So the best thing to do is to consult your mirror that will tell you if you have oncoming traffic. And if an oncoming traffic is coming towards you, you stop and give way to traffic from your right. It's common. And these are basic things. The other issue is that up to now, I don't understand. For in God's sake, how come somebody could go into 4th Street, wheelie, and get out? Because that is endangerment. That has nothing to do with any helmet. That is endangerment of others, the public. That is where you're all there to protect and to serve the public. And in my mind, that should stop, because every time I think about my good friend Simon and how he died, to me, he should not have died away. If you want to wheelie, where you don't go on some other highway that nobody could see you. But they have to go in the public where everybody could see them, where you have the most crowd of the people that are traveling and are moving at the same time. For what reason? Doesn't make any sense. Please help those who ride the motorbike to help the public to not destroy and endanger the public. That's all I'm asking. Nothing else. I'm not even asking for you to ticket them. Just make sure that it stops. Thank you very much, officer, and have a good day.
Thank you, Carlo. Thanks for your concern and your suggestion.
Is there a situation where would you say that what the word you used a while ago, the as it relates to the people who pop a wheelie and things like that, I read on the one wheel. You use a particular term just now. The offenders.
Yeah.
The is there do you see a lot of these offenders being caught, being like, is it something that the police finds difficult to police?
Yes, it's difficult. I can say. Because on the next show, I was there talking and one saying, oh, police just be there. Yeah, but sometimes when they're coming and they see a police, you don't have to be on 4th Street, especially on a straight road.
Mm-hmm.
They see you, they're going to dodge you.
Mm-hmm.
And you're not going to play super police to stand in the road and stop them. Because the first thing they're going to come into you.
Mm-hmm.
And you could prevent that. Because the first thing people are going to say, oh, why you standing to see you see them approaching?
Mm-hmm.
Or you have to try and get the identification of the person or even the vehicle.
Mm-hmm. That in itself might be difficult, you're saying?
Yes, because many times we're doing vehicles, VCP, vehicle checkpoint, and a cyclist come in, and they mean they're not going to stop. So you're going to stand in the road or put the vehicle in the road to the water.
Mm. So because of the nature of the vehicle, you're saying it's easier for them to maneuver out of the reach of the police?
Yes, especially if they have side roads.
Okay. If they ain't got a side road, they could just stop and turn around. No.
So it is difficult, but I know something, and I really like something to be put in place.
Yeah, let me hear this. This is what I want to hear.
No, I don't, and I'm not saying. I say I would like something to be put in place.
Oh, man, I say you got a solution.
No, I can't. No.
But it says, so no.
Because you could trail them down, but still, something they're going to lose you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. The vehicles are easy to maneuver. So I understand.
All we can do is talk to them and see if, get some of them before the court, make an example of them. But you're going to get some and you're not going to get some. Some going to be caught.
Well, I think that is understandable. I think it's just a belief that this is something that people see occurring on a pretty regular basis, and it doesn't seem as though that they're ticketed at a rate that would really make an impact. I think that is probably the concern. So you're saying part of the reason for that is because of the difficulty in policing those vehicles?
Sometimes.
Okay. Well, I mean, I would believe that, I would hope that persons will understand that type of activity makes it dangerous. You know, it makes it even more likely to to cause some harm to either property or person.
Yeah, it's not just themselves, other persons.
Yeah. I mean, we all see it. So we know it's an issue. Yeah. I've been parked. Was parked on the side of the road waiting for somebody to come out of an office, and there's a cyclist coming on one wheel, and for a second they lost control and almost just right up on the hood of the vehicle. You know, they just barely managed to to pull off at the last second. You know, and I think that is an experience that a lot of people have. Crossing the road, somebody coming across, and
a cycle just come up.
Yeah.
I know it is overbearing now. It is.
Yeah, and I think it makes it difficult for the responsible riders as well, because they get a bad rap. Because I don't believe there's every person riding a cycle who rides irresponsibly, right? But we see so much of the and the stakes are so high that people now believe, like, you know, that's the stereotype. You know, you ride a cycle, you're irresponsible, you just ride without helmet, throw your wheel up in the air, ride around people, like, terrorize people, like, and the riders who try to ride responsibility, you know, end up getting
caught. In the same bracket with them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I know it is overbearing, and I know we're gonna do something. So the callers, you don't have to get, what must I say? You don't have to be upset, but the police will be doing something, because it's overbearing now with these cyclemen. I know. And the noise that they make. But sometimes, again, the noise, if they rig them what the muffler, but then we'll have to, some people might say come like that. We'll have to take it to the mechanic and check it out. Yeah.
Yeah, I get you. Yeah, I think the noise might be going a bit too far to try and regulate. But yeah, definitely I think something has to be done to kind of deter that type of behavior, because it's kind of becoming the norm. Now, we started a little late, so that's why letting us go a little past the time. We could take this one last caller before we wrap up. Good morning, caller. You're live on Traffic Talk.
Miss Henry?
Hi, good morning.
I'd like to make a suggestion.
Yes, sir.
That you'll put to your traffic commissioner to hire at least 4 or 5 undercover cops in the different districts where these motorcyclists from foolery with the pop wheeling. Somebody in the neighborhood who is could be called them a vigilante police, and they get the name of these people. Nobody will have to know who the person is. Just pinpoint 1 or 2 people in these areas, and they'll book the name and the description of the cycle and report it to the commissioner. And you'll forward that as a suggestion to the next sitting of Parliament. Thank you.
Thank you, Carly. Thanks for your suggestion, and I have noted that. And I'll take it to the relevant authority.
The vigilantes. Okay. Well, yeah, just before we wrap up, is there any final words or any final notices?
I just want to remind the drivers of vehicle, as I spoke about the seat belt, make sure when you pick up a passenger, if there is 2 children and an adult, or 3 children, you could put 1 to the front, make sure that one have on the seat belt, and 2 on either side of the vehicle, and then the adult sit in the middle. Because, most vehicles have seat belts at the back, 2.
Mm-hmm.
So the adult could go in the middle and put the 2 children who is under 14. That's just a suggestion for them.
Mm-hmm.
For the car seat now, I don't know how that will happen.
They got walk in the rain.
That is so.
It's terrible, but that's what I'm hearing.
No, but I think no. All officers are not the same. You might have somebody who is lenient with the person.
One can only hope. One can only hope.
So you might have some who is not, but you might find a good officer. Yes.
Oh boy, that being the suggestion is wild to me. But
So it's not
hopefully
that you're
find a
going to
good
let the person
officer.
walk in the rain. No, but if rain is coming, I don't think the officer, even if the as some people say the person don't have a hat, I don't think the person will let that person walk with the child in the rain.
no, I mean I would hope not. I would hope not.
I don't think so.
I would hope not. I would hope not.
So
I
you
would
might
hope
say
not.
some officers rough, but when you get to know them, they are very nice. Yes.
Indeed,
Okay.
indeed.
Okay. Two things I want to comment on before we leave. One, I received a WhatsApp last evening, and it says here, Public Works, like they ain't planned to come back. It's been a month and 4 days now. What they are talking about is by the intersection by the St. Peter's Road and the Boulevard toward the New Road Housing Development by the Children Park.
Okay.
Okay. In that junction there.
I was supposed to ask about that, eh?
Yes. In that junction there, you know that it has deteriorated. And what we did, we actually cast a concrete slab in the area there. Now the concrete which they use takes 28 days to cure, to reach its full strength. So they had to block the area there to allow the concrete, to prevent motorists from driving on the concrete and to allow the concrete to cure. That is why it's being blocked. I spoke to my colleagues, those who did it, and they sent me back a WhatsApp and said that area there has been cast. Friday ago, I made 21 days since it's been cast. So it's not 28 days yet. So if they open it because people want to drive on it, then you realize what's going to happen is that it hasn't reached its full strength, it might just collapse eventually. So we're going to still get the same rap to say you just cast a concrete slab there and the same concrete slab breaking. You didn't know what you are doing. So I think that the issue was a communication issue between them, whereas the public didn't know. So I'm saying this morning that the concrete which they poured is taking 28 days to cure. Friday was 21 days. So give us some time and we're going to open back up the road for you. Okay? Thank you very much for the comment. Nevertheless, at least it shows me that you are thinking and we are working together at the end of the day. And finally, just to remind the people of Phillips that we are coming their way to do the slope stabilization project, and we'll be doing the condition survey. So we're asking permission to enter your property, to look at the structure itself, and to take pictures of the structure, not of your content of what you have in your house, but to take pictures of the structure, the corners, and where there are cracks, etc. And then at the end of the day, when the project is completed, if you have any concerns, we are going to give you a number so you can call or feel free. And as I said, there'll be not just a general insurance which the contractor has, but a special insurance for that aspect of the work. Thank you very much for having me here today. And police, I can't overemphasize the appreciation.
Thank you, Mr. Gilbert.
Thank you.
All right, guys. Thank you guys for coming. Appreciate the updates and the information, guys. And look forward to Sergeant at least talking to you again soon. All right, guys.
Okay.
We're gonna take a short break and be right back with more Island Tea right here on Win Media SKN, guys. Stick and stay.
Maybe it's the way the brilliant gold liquid reflects our sunshine, or how the bright blue of its label mirrors the clear Caribbean skies overhead. Maybe it's the fresh, crisp taste of this beastly cold beer on a scorching hot day. Maybe it's even the way it brings us all together. But one thing is for sure, Carib is very much a part of who we are wherever we're from in the Caribbean. Carib, it's the way we play. Drink responsibly.
Horsford's Value Mart IGA is helping you spend less and save more. How, you ask? Essential Everyday and Equiline. Spend less on our Essential Everyday products and get the best quality, the best taste, and the best value. Spend less for all your family health and beauty needs with the Equiline brand of over-the-counter products. Horsford's Value Mart IGA is helping you spend less. With our Essential Everyday products and Equiline over-the-counter health and beauty care products. Shop smart and spend less at Value Mart, where price matters most.
Hey guys, welcome back to Island Tea right here on Win Media SKN. It is still Monday, October 3rd, as we start off October and get things underway. And yeah guys, we just had traffic talk and some interesting information coming out of that one. But yeah, as we move forward, this one is something that I know affects pretty much every citizen, just about in the Federation, and it has to do with internet access. So the headline reads, Minister Maynard affirms St. Kitts and Nevis's commitment to achieving universal affordable broadband. Minister of Information and Information and Communication Technology, ICT, the Honorable Economist Maynard said that the government of St. Kitts and Nevis is committed to achieving universal, affordable broadband connection to residents and citizens of the Federation before 2030. St. Kitts and Nevis gives the commitment to leave no one unconnected and achieve universal, affordable broadband connection to 100% of our residents and citizens before 2030. We will continue our collaboration with the ITU and other CTU member states so that we can provide the real dream of a digital economy and full e-government services to all the people in the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis, Minister Maynard announced during his presentation of St. Kitts and Nevis's policy statement at the International Telecommunications Union conference taking place in Bucharest, Romania, from September 26 to October 14. But that's a long conference, by conference almost a month. He said that the government of St. Kitts and Nevis is about to begin its digital transformation journey, which will start with the whole of government strategy. Okay. While we have achieved individual milestones to achieve full digital transformation, it is now necessary to fully embrace the whole of government strategy. However, due to all the limits associated with small island developing states such as ours, the whole of government strategy requires us to collaborate with the best ICT industry practitioners to aid in the capacity building of our local technical talent to access the affordable and concessionary capital investment. He said, so far the strategy has resulted in about 85% mobile and internet penetration in St. Kitts and Nevis. digital application for financial assistance during the pandemic, online vehicle registration and licensing, creating an immunization database, online immigration and customs portal, eliminating the need for paper and improving entry processing speeds, he added. Minister Maynard also said that the ministry has pledged to our local internet service providers to engage in Partner to Connect initiatives to improve connectivity around the island, and that high-speed internet is provided for free to our local community centers around the island to enable unconnected citizens the opportunity to connect. All right, guys. Well, this is good news. I think this is something that we've spoken about a lot here. Previous governments, I know, would have spoken about this as well. I think what happened with COVID, a lot of things migrated online. I think it was a real paradigm shift at that time, where from everything from being able to order your groceries online to ordering stuff from hardware stores, food, paying bills online. A lot of people, took advantage of some of these opportunities more and more. I know some people who still do that. Some persons I know started ordering their groceries online and still do that to this day, even though you could go to the grocery stores without mask and all of that, and don't have to stand up outside and wait lines for only 2 people to go in and the next 2 people to come out before you can go in. But I'm hoping that the strategy really is all encompassing, meaning that I think what has been happening is that certain government departments has been taking the initiative to go ahead and make some of their services accessible. However, what we would want to see is entire network where the government itself is transferred from this paper processing to online processing and e processing and stuff like that. Because it's rough. It's rough out there. I gave you guys a story a few weeks ago. I went to the courthouse to pay a traffic ticket, and where the courthouse is now, up at Fort Lands. And I walk in there, big, pull up my car, the woman watching me like, where you going with that there? Where you going with that? And someone made the comment that, so you can't pay your traffic ticket online, but then they email you your receipt. And I was like, how they going to email me the receipt? Well, I got an email. It did take about 3 weeks to come. It took about 3 weeks for the email to come. But I did end up getting an email saying thank you for paying your ticket. I see this email. I was like, what is this? Like, I couldn't believe this thing took 3 weeks to come in. I didn't understand what was happening, but it did come. So whoever made that comment, I was talking about. And so yes, it's funny that you can't pay digitally, but then you get your receipt digitally. That's kind of where we at. I asked the lady, I said, Miss, I can't use my banking the money. Can't know you got my banking, even if the court didn't have it. But no such luck. I had to leave, go find an ATM, and then get back. And then get back there to pay. Took me whole morning, anyway. But yeah, this is something that we've been asking for. Oh, and while we're at it, it's not enough to just make some of these services electronic. I think we need to step up some of the designs and stuff. I have seen birth certificates from other country that look like a birth certificate. I don't know what ours is. Ours need an update. We need an update to the birth certificate. Please. Have a nice little grace period. Of course, new births and people who go for new birth certificates will get the updated one. But if you want to get a nice new birth certificate that you could then laminate and thing, please, like, you could give a nice little grace period. You come up, you bring your old birth certificate, and they could transfer it with a nice little security measure so that people can just literally go and redo one on their computer somewhere at home. Like, that's the thing about the birth certificate, you know, like, anybody could just print out that. I could literally just go print out that. Like, I could literally just go on my computer right now and create a birth certificate. Nobody can know the difference. There's thinking about that, that's crazy, eh? Yeah, and the idea that I have to go like halfway on the other side of town to buy some stamps to be able to get my birth certificate. That's kind of like all these things need to be worked on. We understand that these are remnants of a time when the technology wasn't available, but the technology has been available. We need to step up. We need to step up. It's kind of the way we do things. And when we start talking about the database for the vaccine cards, them still look like a child project printed on some manila paper. Like, I'm happy the database eventually came up. And I think that came up because people started to make noise, eh? But at least we had the database, because I don't even know if I know where my physical copy is. I have never used that. I've traveled all over the place. I have literally just gone with my phone. Remember this thing? They used to tell you when you're traveling, you used to have this folder with all the paper for your travel itinerary, your hotel. No one. Let me not say no one. People do it still, but I have not done that in years. I don't have no printed, apart from Senkits, of course. But outside of Senkits, I don't have no printed boarding passes. All my boarding passes are in my phone. I literally just scan my phone. Like, everywhere, I just show my phone. When I was traveling during COVID, they want to see a vaccine card, I just show them my phone. They want to see your boarding pass, show them my phone. They want to see your immigration form, I want to show them my phone. You want to show your portal thing that gives you permission to enter the country, show them your phone. People in some places they literally just scan your phone. Of course, with the boarding passes and so they scan your phone. But yeah, man, we way past this now. We way past this. We're talking about developing engineers and stuff like that. People are only writing apps and so now. Like local people. We ain't got to go to Europe to go find somebody to our Silicon Valley to find somebody to program an app. Like we could knock out that. Some of these things you could do online for free. There's websites that you could do half of these things for free. But yeah, I'm happy to hear that at least that's the thinking going forward. Well, before we even go into some of the heavier topics this morning, let's talk a bit about CPL. So, the headline on this one says, Talawas rule CPL. The victory capped off a magnificent 2022 CPL campaign for King, who compiled 422 runs in the Talawas rampaging match to the title. In 2019, the elegant batsman had scored 496 runs in guiding Guyana Amazon Warriors to second place, but he was over the moon on Friday that the Talawas went one better than his previous team. Says this one means more because we won the title. I'm just extremely happy we won this year. The team is amazing. Everybody trusted each other. King said. So, I actually started reading this from the middle. That's what happened. It says the Jamaica Talawas claimed their third CPL title after Brandon King's majestic half-century and Fabian Allen's magical spell powered them to an 8-wicket win over highly fancied Barbados Royals at Providence Stadium in Guyana late on Friday. So congratulations to the Jamaica Talawas for winning the CPL. We won it last year. We were nowhere close this year. But there's always next year, guys. There's always next year. Nobody could take last year from us. Nobody could take last year from us. So that's kind of where we're at. But congratulations to the Jamaica Tallowers for winning this year's edition of the CPL. Now, these are some of the concerning stories that make you wonder what world we're living in and if people ain't believe in God. This one is actually out of Antigua. Right? And it says, thieves steal altar wine after breaking into church. It says, thieves made good their escape after targeting the St. Andrew's Anglican Church twice in 1 week. On Thursday, 2 fans were stolen from the church. The place hot for you. The place been hot for real. Thieves struck again on Saturday night, this time taking the communion wine from the altar and a lamp. Wow. Police are investigating. Now tell me why. Back in the day, these things wouldn't happen because you were so scared to even take up money off the ground without saying a quick prayer. You thieving wine from the church? But what really got? What is happening in the world, guys? No, Gary and me and you had the same thought. I think to myself, this got to be some good wine. Because what I'm suspecting happened was, they went there to steal the fans. Because to me, the Anglican churches, you could probably find some things of value in there, a little gold here and there. But they went there because they're hot and they wanted to steal the fans. While they were there, they probably took a swig of the wine and went home. Imagine how good the wine got to be. That on Thursday, you take a swig and all Thursday night, Friday night, this thing on your mind. Saturday, you walk out, but no, guys, we got to go back for the wine there. The wine there. That wine there was just good. So these people literally went back to the church and stole the wine. Somebody gonna need to give, all the church need to do is give out the recipe or give out the manufacturer of the wine to people. That's all they gotta do. Release it so people know where they could go and legally purchase the wine. Because my concern is that now people can start thinking the Anglican got the good and figure out they go in there to try and see what all the fuss is about. Because when you have some kind of consumable and you see people going out of the way to get it, it creates a demand. We don't want people to have to be running into the churches to taste the wine. So they need to let us know what this wine is so that people don't feel the need to go and get it from the church. So I'm calling on the Anglican church ministers on Sunday coming to please let people know the name, the manufacturer, the year of the wine that seems to have had these thieves on the top. Well, if they make their own wine in the cellar still, because I know that was the thing, that used to be a thing back in the day. The priests were known for being quite experienced sommeliers. I think that's the term. So a lot of them, the friars would the monks, would it was the monks that would make great wine. They were known for that. But yeah, all they got to do Sunday during the this service sometime, you just drop the name and let people know where they could get this wine, because this thing is wild to me. Because it has to be that they went back for they ain't steal nothing else, yeah. They ain't steal no transformer, they ain't steal no sound equipment, they went for the wine. went back for the wine. But my people ain't fear God, by I can't believe people stealing from the church things to eat and drink. That would have been unthinkable a few years ago. People ain't fear God no more. People ain't fear God. Bye. There's some interesting topics here. Trying to figure out which one we should talk about. Let's talk a bit about what's happening with Hurricane Ian. Oh, well, somebody on the live saying they were trying to get the blood of Jesus internally. Well, it is the blood. It is the blood. It is the blood. I guess perhaps too they were trying to repent from the sins. They figure if they took the communion, maybe that would wash away the blood of Jesus would wash away the sins of the theft. But I think they might have been the wine had it wasn't the Holy Ghost it would have been the Holy Spirits. The Holy Spirits would have been what's involved in what would have been in the wine. But yeah, crazy. All I got to do, let us know where to find the wine. That's all I got to do. Take away all this desire. People know this is where we could go. Or if there's something that they make special, just start to sell. Just start to sell. You ain't gonna have to put in no more money for no roof fund if they start selling the wine. They start selling the wine, that's all they got to worry about. They got more money than they need to put on a new roof every 2 years. That's a suggestion. But Well, Antipam is saying, do they even know there is a God? I don't know. I'm telling you, these things would not happen. These things would not have happened 10 years ago. I tell you, when we were small, right, and you see a quart, a dollar, 10 cents, 5 cents, they still got 2 cents and 1 cent. And you find one of them and you take it up, you put a little X, you say a quick prayer, you make the sign of the cross in your chest. Because and they will tell you, if you find money, don't buy food with it. Don't buy food. People forget about these things, yeah. In this day and age, people ain't care about it. People ain't care. But hey, that's the way that's just how it is now. Man. Now we're gonna sad note and heavy out the place now. I'm talking a bit about what's been happening with Hurricane Ian in the US. And it says dozens dead from Ian, one of strongest, costliest US storms. I know some of you have been keeping up with what has been happening in the US, particularly in Florida. As Hurricane Ian passed through. It says rescuers searched for survivors among the ruins of Florida's flooded homes from Hurricane Ian, while authorities in South Carolina began assessing damage from its strike there as remnants of one of the strongest and costliest hurricanes to ever hit the U.S. continued to push north. The powerful storm terrorized millions of people for most of the week, battering western Cuba before raking across Florida from the warm waters of the Gulf of Mexico to the Atlantic Ocean, where it mustered enough strength for a final assault on South Carolina. Now weakened to a post-tropical cyclone, Ian was expected to move across central North Carolina on Saturday morning, then move into Virginia and New York. At least 30 people were confirmed dead, including 27 people in Florida, mostly from drowning, but others from the storm's tragic after effects. An elderly couple died after the oxygen machines shut off when they lost power, authorities said. Wow. Meanwhile, distraught residents waded through knee-high water Friday, salvaging what possessions they could from their flooded homes and loading them onto rafts and canoes. I want to sit in a corner and cry. I don't know what else to do, Stevie Scuderi said after shuffling through her mostly destroyed Fort Myers apartment, the mud in her kitchen clinging to her purple sandals. In South Carolina, Ian Center came ashore near Georgetown, a small community along the Winyah Bay, about 60 miles north of historic Charleston. The storm washed away parts of 4 piers along the coast, including 2 connected to the popular tourist town of Myrtle Beach. Oh, I've been there. The storm's winds were much weaker Friday than during Ian's landfall on Florida's Gulf Coast earlier in the week. Authorities and volunteers there were still assessing the damage as shocked residents tried to make sense of what they just lived through. Anthony Rivera, 25, said he had to climb through the window of his first-floor apartment during the storm to carry his grandmother and girlfriend to the second floor as they hurried to escape the rising water. The storm surge had washed a boat right up next to the apartment. That's the scariest thing in the world because I can't stop no boat, he said. I'm not Superman. Wow. The stories that you get coming out of these places across the US are just crazy. Someone says it's just crazy to look at how quickly the rivers were rising. We knew that we were in for some record stuff. The official death toll climbed throughout the day, Friday, with authorities warning it would likely rise much higher once crews made a more comprehensive sweep of the damage. Searches were aimed at emergency rescues and initial assessments. Florida Division of Emergency Management Director Kevin Guthrie said, Hurricane Ian has likely caused well over $100 billion with a B in damage, including $63 billion in privately insured losses. According to the disaster modeling firm Karen Clark, and Co., which regularly issues flash catastrophe estimates. If those numbers are borne out, that would make Ian at least the 4th costliest hurricane in U.S. history. Wow. Y'all better give thanks here. Y'all better give thanks that St. Kitts is once again spared from these types of this type of damage. I've seen some of the videos and pictures from Ian's aftermath, and in some cases it just looked like a landfill. It's just unrecognizable piles of debris. Like, that's all you're seeing. Is just some places you could tell, oh, they used to, oh, that was somebody's home. I think that's how crazy the thing look. Imagine you in your house, wind blowing, laying down on your couch, just trying to make it through. Decide, but you know what? I bought some hurricane snacks. Let me go to the kitchen, get one of them snacks. When you step off, when you step off your couch, the water up to your knee. But this is crazy, and I don't want to get on the case about the type of building that they do, but the truth is, we're the same way down here. We're the same way. I told y'all there's been multiple suggestions of how we change our construction techniques to make our buildings more hurricane and storm resistant. But nobody want to do it. Because just to change the way that we do things, to change the processes, is a costly exercise. It's a costly exercise, and nobody want to do the upfront cost. So what keep happening is we keep building homes, hurricane keep coming, blowing them down, and then we blow back the houses the same way. That's what's been going on because nobody wants to take the initial step to change the way that we do things. I went through an entire proposal from these guys there. The guy Noam Chomsky was involved with them. But they had designed full cities and stuff that would be earthquake, hurricane resistant. They have been presented it all across the world. Everybody admits that this would greatly decrease the damage done by these types of natural disasters. Nobody wants to implement it. Nobody wants to implement it. So we're just going to wait and hope that insurance give us something. But some of y'all ain't going to ask a God in y'all insurance, you know. Ask a God ain't covered in your insurance. So you're there thinking, well, if anything happen, I go to the insurance, I get back my roof. Where? The insurance is tell you, sorry, but you're not covered for acts of God. You're not... sorry, you don't have flood coverage. You don't live in a flood zone. But where is not a flood zone when you're talking about hurricane? And what went on? Hey, speaking of flood, what went on Friday? On Friday, like the rain fell for about 15 minutes, and it seemed like the whole of East Bastille flood out. From Newtown, come right back across to all along there by Pelican Mall. I seen videos looking like, I want to know if we had another flash flood. Like what year that was? 2000? But I want to know if we had another flash flood. I couldn't understand what was going on. Well, I was not in town, but it seemed as though the rain fell for maybe 15 minutes. This heavy shower came out of nowhere. As each would say, Jah blessings come true. People wondering if this show cancel or kind of thing in the night. But I couldn't understand the flooding. Like the water was so high. I see people walking, pants foot turn up, walking through water like as if it was raining for 3 days. Let me tell you something. When we building these projects and stuff, we gotta have a plan for where the water going. I think that's what's happening. We're building a lot of these low-income homes, and there's no...
Kits and Nevis listens to
Win
what?
FM 98.9.
Win FM 98.9.
Okay, Win. Just jump in. But we have a caller on the line. Good morning, caller. You're live on Island T. What's up?
Yeah, morning to you guys. I just need to chime in here. You know that down there by Hartsford, there was a time when it used to be flooded?
Yes.
And whatever they may have done, it was remedied. But I was shocked when I saw on a WhatsApp, somebody sent me a WhatsApp message with all the water and the rain there. So it seemed to me that something happened that create that backlog to cause all the water to back up like that. But it used to happen before. There was a time you could drive down Hartsford, that road there, when there was heavy rain.
Yes.
West Square Street,
Mm-hmm.
in that area there. But I'm surprised when I saw the video, I said, me mothers, that's not happening again. So maybe they have to check out and see what is really happening, because it got to be something block up.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
Yeah. Okay, man.
All right,
Nice
man,
program.
appreciate it. Thank you. But yeah, I don't know what was going on, but I like I was saying, I think part of it is we take out a lot of these lands that would have held the water, right? Like, so we you know, people need homes, we're building the homes, and I don't know if we have a proper drainage system in place. Well, not that I don't know. We ain't got none. We don't have none. There's no way we could have one, and this is happening. So that water then making it, well, we know how St. Kitts set up. So the water making its way towards the coast. And so areas that are closer to the coast, all this water come down. Like, I'm looking at the Bay Road. Why? I don't know what's going on. Because the water ain't just coming from one spot. The water running from wherever coming all the way down in town. It is insane. But I look at, we build these projects, and a lot of times to me it seems as though the drainage is an issue. We have to have some overall plan for where this water can go. Because people don't understand, It's one thing to say, oh, you got a lot of water and the water can drip and so. But over time, these things affect people's property, Affect people's property. So, and not only that, if this is how it is now, well, how we can look like in 5 years when we done build another 150 project all around the place. All the concrete gone in. When the water fall, the rain just running. The water got to go somewhere. The water got to go somewhere. It might not be a drainage problem at the area where the projects are built, but where that water from what used to be either cane field, farmlands, hillside, where the water going? Because no concrete, so the water ain't soaking away. The water running. So we have to make sure that whatever it is we're doing, that's part of the planning. Not just in the project. Sometimes I feel like, sometimes they might figure out in the project, let's build some drains or whatever. And so the water might not flood there, but the water going somewhere. And I think it'll end up in places that we don't really want it to go. But something had to be done down Newtown by, because Newtown, the Bay Road, no bye. I said, well, if we had a hurricane where we had some heavy rains for a few hours, I don't even want to think about what down there would look like. Wow. I was concerned. So hopefully people looking into that. And like the caller said, some areas where they seem to have fixed it. We having repeats of the same stuff again. I don't know what it's all about. But fix it. Gilbert was in here, Gilbert! Mr. Gilbert, hopefully you're aware of the situation. Give us an update when you come back. Jade, where you say one day and the studio possessed? Yeah, you need to come ward off the bad spirits. Well, people always talk about it raining in the mountains. But raining in the mountains it could be raining in the mountains for days. You can't tell me you have 10 minutes of rain in town and then town just flood out. And the reason is because it was raining in the hills. Nah. When we have some of these long showers, it almost seems like the whole island, it's raining all across the island. I could understand that, but this whole thing this weekend was strange to me. Somebody saying that the drains don't get cleaned regularly or properly. I can attest to that in some areas. I think in some areas, there are people in the community that take pride in keeping their place clean and clean up the drains, the trash. There's some places though, and the trash comes from other areas too and piles up there. Somebody saying Cross George Street will want a good cleanup. What are you saying about the people across George Street, eh? Hey, Witty? What are you saying about George Street? I won't have you doing that. But let's keep on the Ian topic, because there's a Florida man that is missing after trying to jet ski to the Bahamas ahead of Hurricane Ian. A Florida man is missing after authorities say he attempted to jet ski from the Sunshine State to the Bahamas in the days before Hurricane Ian hit. Y'all want me to read that again? I should just continue. I think I'll just continue because the family of Charles Walker, 52, this is a 52-year-old man, guys. This ain't a 17-year-old. Florida will Florida by. Anyway, the family of Charles Walker, 52, told the Broward Sheriff's Office that he was trying to travel the estimated 115 miles to the district of Bimini from Pompano Beach, about 36 miles north of Miami, the South Florida Sun Sentinel reports. Wow, wow, wow. Let's see where I have to go to read the rest of this article, because this one is interesting. Let's see, I read more here. Last seen around 5 p.m. last Friday, Walker stands at 5 feet 9 inches. He weighs 190 pounds and has grey hair and green eyes. I'm looking at the picture of this guy. He does look like a bit of a thrill seeker. Those with information are asked to call the sheriff's detective, Chris Blankenship. I'm not going to say the number because I don't believe any of our people here have any information. Unless what is happening is the guy told them he was going to the Bahamas and decided really to come to St. Kitts to get away from whatever was, for whatever reason. Walker's disappearance might have been overshadowed by Hurricane Ian battering Florida, off the coast of which 20 people went missing after a Cuban migrant boat sank as a result of the storm. Wow. No. Why? That's where my mind goes. Why? Hurricane coming, you're going to decide to drive 115 miles from Pompano Beach to the Bahamas. Why? These kind of things does make me feel like these people like just wanted to disappear, you know. Ain't want nobody trouble them. So they tell them they're doing this crazy thing, and that's what I'm hoping, because I do not want to believe that this man paid the ultimate price for his attempt. Florida man strikes again, but it's Florida man. Once, like, I used to live in Florida, guys. Florida man is a real thing. We used to look at the news for entertainment. Me and my classmates, we would go by a friend of ours and look at the 7 p.m. news just to see what crazy things happen. But you know what? I really shouldn't get too hard on this guy, because I had a friend. I ain't gonna call his name because people know him. But when we were in CFB, he came up with an entire idea to basically stay in the eye of a hurricane in a speedboat and travel along with the hurricane. Thought he could videotape it and then move and sell it as a show or something. Those of you who are in college with me, y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. Just based on the idea, y'all know it's probably only one person who could have come up with such a harebrained scheme. But I remember one time we were talking about it some years later, and the man was like, yeah, I still want to do it. I was like, wait, you were serious? The man said, yeah, I'm serious, I want to do this. Trying to figure out the logistics. At one point he was discussing maybe being dropped down into the eye of the hurricane by helicopter, trying to figure out what type of boat he would have needed, how he would have been able to keep the amount of fuel necessary, what would happen if the eye passed directly over land. Like, the man was going through all the logistics. So all this man wanted to do is beat the hurricane. I don't know why he went on a jet ski though. I mean, maybe that's why I was available. Best he had swim. But, well, somebody who know about jet skis, let me know if 115 miles sound doable. Because that seemed like a lot of miles for me, even for a jet ski. But guys, anyway, as I just say at the end of the show, learn from the mistakes of others. None of you all, please, please try to do everything. Oh, and while I'm talking about this, there's a thing that we do here as well. Because we just talk about the crazy white people, the Americans. We know it is a tradition for persons who live in coastal communities right after the hurricane to go out in the sea. Stop it. Stop doing it. They warn us about it every single time there's a storm coming. And every single time there's a storm coming, there's people who wait until the seas get rough and go and jump in the sea. And have tons of fun doing it. It's only fun until it's not fun anymore. I don't want to be reading any stories about the St. Kitts man, you know. The Florida man stories, them wild enough. We don't need to go make stories about St. Kitts man now. I was actually talking to a friend of mine and he admitted to me, he said, yeah, every time there's a storm I used to do that. Go down the bay. I said, well, thankfully you're still here with us. But recognize now that that wasn't a guarantee. You might not have come out of the sea one of them times. You only take one little swell or one like undertow or current to pull you away. So that little thing that we do, we need to stop it. I know I would tell y'all to stop driving around to go see what is going on in the eye of the storm, but you know y'all ain't gonna doing that. But those of you who go in the sea right after and during the storms, please stop it. Yes, I know there's a bunch of people that go, especially over like Canada and Keys and them areas to surf because they're glad that like they got some swells now. Y'all need to stop it too. Y'all need to stop it. Who coming out there to save y'all them times? We spoke here the other day about the need for trained lifeguards on the beaches. Yes. But the lifeguards ain't coming out during the storm to ensure that y'all not jumping in the sea. So, please, 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 that seems to be a thing. Stop it. But time is fast spent and we got to make a move. We got to leave. We got to go. We got to disembark. Guys, it's been a pleasure hanging out with you all this morning. Looking forward to talking to you guys again soonest, most likely tomorrow. But it's the beginning of the week. Hoping that you guys are productive, that you guys are safe, that you guys deal with people with love and respect. And stay humble out there, man. Pride goes before fall. We don't want people out here falling on the face. Y'all have lovely faces. But guys, please, 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 enjoy the rest of the day. I will try to do the same and give you all a verdict tomorrow. But Jade, big up yourself. I see you there on live going on bad. Hopefully you get in sooner rather than later. Come join me. The people miss you, Jade. I've gotten messages. Nuts Lady was concerned when she didn't see you this morning. So please. But guys, please remember to learn from the losses of others, and we've spoken about a lot of losses today for you to learn about. Please remember to spend more time living your content than posting it. And of course, as always, what? Jade, I hope you see what's going on Facebook here. Somebody said they love Jade, but wow. If only someone loved me. Anyway, I have witty, so I ain't got to worry. But guys, of course, most importantly this morning, please remember, you can't be everybody's cup of tea because you is not a mug. I'm going to see you guys tomorrow.